Hi, in this interview of The Secret Sauce, I have invited Moriya Rockman, who is the CMO and co-founder of Smiling House Luxury. Smiling House Luxury is based in Gstaad, where they started originally, and they now have 1,500 properties under management, some exclusive, some not, throughout the world, 30 locations. So this is the interview that you want to listen to if you're into luxury, because Moriya has a wealth of knowledge around how to sell luxury, how to scale, and she's going to tell us all about her plans related to real estate and to Asia. An interview not to be missed that you can see both on podcast and on YouTube, and I see you on the other side. Cheers. Hi, I'm Vanessa from Rentals United. We are channel manager for vacation rentals, and I am the proud host of the secret sauce of vacation rentals, and the secret sauce of property managers, in fact. And today I have, for the first time, a woman on the show, so I'm very, very pleased about that. It's been hard to find, so we want to raise awareness around that. In fact, both Moriya and I want to raise awareness that we need more women at the top of property management companies, more women at the top of tech companies, and certainly more women on stage at vacation rental events. So having said all this, I want to welcome Moriya from Smiling House Luxury. And hi, Moriya. Thanks for being on the show.
Hi. Thank you. Wonderful to be here. And to be the first woman, it's even a big privilege. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for accepting the invite. So please tell us a little bit about you, what you were doing before Smiling House Luxury, and what you're doing now.
Okay, so I'm actually coming from the marketing and the PR world. Was busy with branding companies and finding their uniqueness and selling their unique selling proposition and so on. And before everything or anything, I'm actually a copywriter. I've been busy with establishing Smiling House together with my husband, Moriya Rockman. And it started actually as a hobby. With our vacation chalet in the Swiss Alps. This is like a 350 years old farmhouse that we called Heidi Chalet at the time, after the famous story you probably know about Heidi in the Alps. And already back then, I understood that each place actually have like a unique story to tell. And there's experience that it's different than in other places in the world. And I thought that I should be focusing actually on that. So for 3 years, we were busy hosting there in the Swiss Alps, managing beautiful chalets across Switzerland. And before we actually got ready to kick off and to start to host other luxurious places around the world. Besides being the founder, I'm also the CMO of Smiling House Luxury.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I want to hear everything about how the business works. And in fact, for those that don't know Smiling House, can you tell us how many properties you manage and where your headquarters are?
Okay, so we are managing, not alone and not exclusively, by the way, 1,500 properties, all luxury, in about 30 different destinations around the world. Actually, wherever there's luxury, we are happy to open a new market and to roll it. The headquarters is in Switzerland, in Gstaad, in the Swiss Alps, where we actually started our own business. And we opened also an office in Israel. And now we're starting with getting some help in the East, because we are looking, to the future, seeing what's coming. And we want to get ready for this massive Eastern new travelers that will come in the next 1-2 years into the market and to the luxury market and the special needs.
Oh, great! So we're gonna talk about marketing a little bit later. So you said you're not exclusive. So you have a hybrid model. That would be the right way to call it, right? So on one side, you have exclusive properties that you manage, and on the other, you have properties that are not exclusive to you, but that you market. correct?
Right. So actually, Smiling House is a collection of stylish and exclusive private properties. Some of them are managed with the property managers. Some of them are managed with the homeowners themselves. And in the Gstaad region in Switzerland, we are actually the property managers ourselves. So we are working on this hybrid model that putting the all of us together in the purpose of giving the best experience of hosting in the high level way around the world, with the extras that of help that Smiling House giving to these property managers or homeowners out there, of extra languages, a little bit more tech, giving more focus on the guest process of hosting and receiving before they becoming a real guest on spot. So actually, yes, we are. I think we were one of the first one that been establishing this kind of hybrid model, and for a long time in the industry, we were talking about it with people, and they really didn't understand what are we doing or how it's going to work. But I'm happy to say that now finally it makes sense to more people. And I think that we're going to see more and more of that in other companies as well.
So how does one scale the agents side of things? Because it's threefold, right? You have agents, owners, and you're a manager yourself. And so how do you scale the agent? How do you get agents to work with you? Don't they do the same thing as you, right?
Right. So first of all, we grew, organically by developing destination. First of all, we started to do it ourselves. Means that we used to go and meet homeowners. They were not really, not even aware to what the OTAs or the channel managers have to offer. They were just doing a vacation rental, luxury that's been there for years, as something that is as a product in tourism, been there forever and ever. So for some of them, we did open the world and the gate or the door to be a player in the OTAs and so on. And for some of them, we playing this role. For the property managers, which make the first question that a property manager with beautiful business out there were asking us, why do I need you? Why do I need you guys? So actually, Smiling House developed the name, and we got more and more direct contact from this kind of travelers that can buy it all. And once you enter those circles of jet setters, of people with ability, with concierge companies, and the people represent them, this is not necessarily the people that you can find them easily on the OTAs. And our partners, our property managers, they were happy to get this, this circles to be expanded and to get more direct bookings and so on. So I would say that we're representing a little bit more like a collection of potential guests that stands each one of us levels. And for the others, yes, we are giving this kind of tech or using the PMS, using the channel managers, sorry, that they as private as 1, 2, 3 home owners, they cannot allow themselves, and they enjoy it.
I see. Okay. So wonderful. So you are a channel in one way. So we're adding to the complexity of your business, because you're a channel for some of these property managers, and at the same time you have the technology to push the properties onto different OTAs, right? So one question I have, and I think all the luxury property managers I meet, they tell me, it's so hard to market luxury properties. One, because on one side the owners don't want to accept everyone, right? Mm-hmm. And on the other, it's very hard to find the right channels. So so when it comes to that, you do instant booking? How does it work?
No, unfortunately not. This is one of the obstacles for us working with the OTAs that really were not designed for this segment. So this is a global problem of the niche of luxury segment. Do not take instant booking We cannot just take the credit card, even if the person have the amount of money that we're requesting to take. There's so many questions on the other hand, even from the point of view of the homeowner, and not mentioning the thousands of questions and requests that are unique to the kind of people who's traveling and spending this amount of money. Maybe just to put it in the open, we're handling requests of 50, 60, and 100 and $200,000 a week. This is something that is so different than what's happening in the industry. Then, of course, it's very hard for these people to work through the OTAs, and it's impossible for us. So yeah, we had to look at very certain channels that through, of course, Rentals United, that we can still enjoy is the ones that giving us the possibility to work upon request, to have a better communication as much as possible. If of course it can be more than just a chat, it's even better with our potential guests, because the trust to take such a decision of going to such an expensive holidays that normally involve and evolving so many other upsells and so on, we're talking about serious matter. And the people on the other side have to take a decision online. It's hard.
Yeah, agreed. And so which sites work for you, apart from your own, obviously?
So, of course, we are working with Airbnb, because Airbnb were the first one. Actually, today I just saw a picture of me and Brian Chesky it was exactly today, 3 years ago in Los Angeles, where we met. And they were the first one with Chip Conley that were listening to our needs and even looking deep into it, and understood that if they want to take a bite from this luxury segment, they have to take it to the next level. And right after, by the way, we probably know, they bought Luxury Retreat. So over there, we're working with them, with Airbnb Lux and HomeAway, of course, Expedia, and other few channels that allow it for us, TripAdvisor, to communicate and to answer upon request, and not in an instant. Of course, it's making our work much more hard. Less tech is involved, unfortunately. But from the other hand, the good news is that every deal in Smiling House or in the industry of luxury, I say it's standing for 30 or 40 or 50 times the amount of the average deal in the industry. So let's say it's worth it.
I see. Lots of work, but lots of returns. That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. And any niche sites that you work with that you could recommend in terms of luxury?
So actually, we are very busy with social media. And the niche is actually all kind of clubs, all kind of websites or organization that are dealing with the experience. It's of course going together. We're looking today at in the industry that's going towards the experience, right? And in the luxury segment, it's even more profound. The whole idea of give me, this experience that I will never forget. I will pay for it, no problem. So, there are this kind of website and channels that doing only ski and only leisure by the sea, and only people who like to combine their yachting with hospitality, and only people who like expensive cars, and they're traveling with the cars, and they like to sleep each time in another amazing property that suits the whole idea of luxury in their mind. People that coming for the culinary experience, and the hospitality and the facility for them of the kitchen is an added value, but they got together for a reason. We are there as part of the reason. And of course, it's so niche. It's niche inside the niche inside the niche, and we keep on looking for those, because we know that's where the way of traveling is going to.
I want your list, absolutely. And so I can share it. And do you work also with travel agents, I imagine? Do you have the whole approach to travel agents?
So that's it. Now we just realize that we have to be really, really busy with taking the knowledge that we and our experience and to deliver it to much more parties out there. The legacy partners of the legacy travel players, whatever we want to call, maybe the traditional tourism partners or the activities. If it's concierge companies or travel designers, which is a new name for an old occupation, or even the hotels themselves, the biggest chains of hotels, they all want to just take a bite in our industry. And it's looked like the luxury world is the first place where they can actually do that. That's the bridge. So yes, now we are working on developing the tech where those companies, those players will be on one side, and the property managers, even if they will be small, even there will be only 5 amazing properties in St. Bart or 20 amazing properties in Mykonos, they be able to contact this kind of very eager players that would like to share the property and share their guests. Because let's not forget, or let's not think that these kind of industry players are, completely going down. The numbers showing that more people will continue traveling, and the generation, the gray hair, the baby boomers, and even some of the X generation will still put somebody in the middle, especially when it's come to luxury.
That's good to know. So you need lots of them, right? I imagine. So what are your plans with Asia? Tell me about Asia.
No, the Asia part is especially to understand the special needs, because we saw something very interesting. Even somebody or a company that contacting us from Asia directly, they would like to continue the communication, for example, in Airbnb. And we thought like, wow, that's weird. You're getting us directly and you want to communicate in the OTA. Why is that? And we realized that it's about the comfortability of the communication itself, right? Okay. Like right now we are not answering in Mandarin. So, okay. And it's not only about the answering, it's about the whole thing that they feel comfortable from the other side of taking such a decision in a way that they can communicate in their own way comfortably, and somebody on the other side understanding them, and so on. So we understand that, first of all, the needs of communication has to be there for them to travel comfortably, because they going through a huge change from traveling in huge groups, very much depending on somebody leading the way, explaining them in their own language about we are here focusing on city centers, to people who can afford it and they want to experience that personal family feeling, but they still have a gap. And we have to crack it and to be ready.
So what do you want to do? Tell me all. That's a secret, and not to be revealed.
We're looking deep, especially into the numbers, and start to talk a little bit about the guest experience. We are interviewing some kind of a guest coming from the East, from other nations, about what will make it easier for them to take such a decision, and we hopefully going to put it also into the knowledge and into the service that Smiling House will be able to offer in the future.
Great. Well, that's a wonderful challenge to have, actually, if you're going to take over China. How to scale in Asia. We have to do a part 2 of this interview. Tell me how you crack it, please, please, please. So in terms of technology, I imagine you must have a really good website, right? That converts very well, right? Because you send traffic to your website a lot. You pay for traffic.
We're not really paying for traffic. We're really working like the way that our industry is working is very much based on word of mouth. We grew, surprisingly enough, we grew a lot thanks to hosts that became guests, and guests that became hosts in their other, because they are the owners of the same property elsewhere, actually. And they opened the circles for us and they shared it with us. If I would have to spend money to target this audience group, it will be so much not cost effective. I promise you that. So we focusing in our targeting those potential guests in very different ways, in different clubs, in different attitude, in adding features. For example, we just added recently a feature of private jets that is amazing, that you can just book any place, to fly from one place to another, and it's even cost effective because it's a shared economy based jets that if you know that the system is based on the empty leg. And this is just in the world of services that our guests and the guests of the property managers we're working with is expecting. So these kind of things we are giving through our website. But if you really want to know if we develop a smiling house through tech, the answer is no. We're actually focusing on tech only now. And for the reason I mentioned before, to create this alliance that will be able to make it accessible for people from two different industries of legacy tourism and vacation rental to talk together. This is the reason why and the reason we are not based on the instant book. This is we understood that there's no point to develop so much tech like other companies next to us did better and better and better, because we are not there. They need the communication, they need the personal touch, and this is something that no computer or instant messaging or booking can give. But I must say, and focusing on back to the PMS and the channel managers, company like Smiling House will not be able to develop to where we are now, even not 5 years ago. Means that without our PMS, that giving us whatever we could do that is automated, this kind of nice messaging while somebody is booking, preparing, dashboards with all kind of facilities connecting us to other via tech in the industry, and channel managers like Rentals United that allow us to spread the knowledge and the offer, even if we are not, we cannot play on 30 or 40 channels. On the main fifth ones we could. This is a world of difference for an industry of vacation rental in luxury that's been there actually for 100 years. This is exactly the change that this industry is going through, and why it's so interesting exactly now.
Very good words. I like it. And but we can also connect you to travel agents. We need to talk about that separately.
That's perfect.
Now that you're saying this, don't build it yourself. Come to us first.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about it after the call. And so, how do you? I've got this. How do you market to owners? How do you get the owners to work with you? Is it
So first, when we just started, we actually, you won't believe it, we actually flew. We landed in Mykonos and started to find local homeowners of amazing villas and started to talk to them and tell them, we want to connect you to the luxury worldwide. And people have been shocked. They've been shocked because no one in the industry or even travel industry ever came there. It was all through email. But for us, it was really important not only to develop by knowing, but also to really see what we are offering. Really visit and take a picture and see how close it to the sea, or how far it's from the slopes, and the facilities. We saw some amazing scenes. Can you believe that one property we were visiting, they were showing us the magnesium pool? This is something you won't find even in a spa. And somebody crazy property manager decided to develop it in a Mykonos property. So in the beginning, we really went from one place to another, and we could sign that we've been there and it's standing our standards. And today, recently, I could say that we're getting more and more property managers and homeowners that would like to join us and to join the extra values that we're giving, if it's the Instagram exposure, if it's the Facebook, the connection to all kind of direct clubs and so on. So it's switched, which is actually, it's a real luxury the moment we reach to, but we still want to go to every market we're developing and see it for ourselves. This is very important.
Can you take me next time on your trip, please?
Yes, sure. But first we have to find a place that me and you never been to. Let's.
Okay.
That will be a hard one, huh?
Okay, that's true. That's true. Okay, so consolidation is a word we hear a lot in the industry, and especially in the property management world at the moment. Is this something you see happening in the luxury market, in that vertical of property management?
Look, first of all, Smiling House. Let's put it on the table. We are a bootstrap. And for the first time, actually, we see ourselves open for some kind of sharing our unique knowledge with other partners, or any other consolidation. I think that we are developing two parts where I can see us connecting to another company. One of them, if I may tell you about it, is the rent to buy and buy to rent concept. This is the first time that we see that vacation rental industry is actually connecting another complete different industry outside of tourism, outside of sleeping and booking per night. It's the real estate world that realized that vacation rental is actually an interesting product. And vacation rental in luxury, even more interesting because the person can enjoy his own house and still rent it at the same time. So we are looking at kind of interesting partners when it comes to that. And I think that we're going to see many more merging and into the industry and even in the luxury segment. But in the end of the day, we won't be able to just show, like I told you, crazy tech. We will still have to stay and to give that very neat service with a local touch, and to focus on the globalization, to give something global and to keep on acting local. And I see some kind of connection between companies who just want to grow. I can tell you, we would like to grow, but we don't want to give up the quality that we promised to deliver. So let's focus on the quantity. If we can do it together with somebody more, welcome.
Great. Okay, well, let's see what feedback you get from this. Who knows what kind of partners you may find because of the podcast.
Right.
Okay, and to finish off, we're going to do a game show.
Yay.
Are you in?
Yes, sure.
I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you tell me true or false. Okay? There is no true or false. It's just your opinion, basically. So, vacation rental industry will topple the hotel industry next year.
Hard one, huh? I started with a hard one. False.
Okay. Voice-activated travel assistants are must.
True.
Google will become the only OTA.
False.
Consolidation in the tech industry is bad for property managers.
False.
Consolidation of property management companies is bad for guests.
Tricky one. True.
Okay. Vacation rental growth in urban areas will continue despite regulations.
True.
You have to invest in technology because your guests' needs are changing.
True.
Keyless locks are must.
No, it's false. We still have some places with the key under the doormat.
Okay. You still have some places where you have to wash your own sheets before the next guest comes and clean your own apartment. Can you imagine?
No, not with us, but where the key is under the doormat, and the level of trust is so high because money is not even the issue. This you can still find. It's really it's possible that you find it under the doormat.
Very good. US brands will have a hard time implementing in Europe.
Again, sorry, is US?
US brands, property management brands, will have a hard time implementing in Europe.
100% true. They will have a hard time. It's a complete different culture. And it won't be easier to take the brand book of a company, a US company, and just implement it. And we see it in other businesses as well.
Okay. And when space travel becomes available, you'll be the first luxury company to open there on the moon.
No, we'll be already targeting Mars.
I'm sure you would be. I'm a big fan of yours. Thanks so much for doing this with me.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And good luck with everything, including Asia. And let's talk about GDSs together.
Yes, please. Thanks.
All right. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.
Bye.